This is my Dr. Stone mug cup. I've been asked about my thoughts on AI-generated artwork. It is an interesting topic to share with you all. I've put a lot of thought into it. And when I have a chance, I would like to create a special video discussing AI-generated artwork. It's a topic that I think would take more than 30 minutes to explain in a comprehensive and simplified way. Not only my editors, but others have also asked me about AI-generated artwork. Long story short, I have a positive outlook on the advancement of technology, including AI. But we can't just look at it from a positive perspective because there are clearly negative aspects as well. It's not something that can be easily explained in a video. It's a complex issue that cannot be simplified. That's my current perspective on it. Looking ahead, I believe AI can be a gift to us when we deeply contemplate its benefits and make informed decisions about utilizing it. We can have a conversation on this topic together in the future. Thank you. Shall we move on to the next question? This is from KEEPOURSANITY. I'd love to know what inspired your art style for Sunken Rock and Origin, and which other mangaka have been an inspiration to you. Yes. Of course I have. Can there even exist a work without any influence? If such a work does exist, would it be considered well-made and the right choice? Perhaps it's possible. Maybe. I keep saying this, but the world of manga is like a vast universe. However, I believe it's beneficial to freely embrace inspiration and influences, paying homage to the works I love and showcasing what I have seen and learned. So, I create my works in a way that resonates with my own preferences. For instance, when it comes to Sunken Rock, it stands as the greatest action manga masterpiece, Rokutenashi Blues by Morita Masanori-sensei, and Beyond the Heavens by Kingana-sensei, a work I deeply adore and consider exceptional. These are the works that continuously occupy my thoughts, serving as a wellspring of inspiration. As for Origin, it goes without saying. Ghost in the Shell, and Appleseed by Shiro Masamune-sensei. Akira by Katsuhiro Otomo-sensei. These magnificent science fiction masterpieces always linger in my mind during the creative process. Although I acknowledge that I can never reach their level of mastery with my abilities, they remain the guiding stars of my vision. They are the banners of my soul. Countless other remarkable works have also served as sources of energy for me. Furthermore, depending on the story, content, and scenes I aim to depict, I strive to recall numerous manga and gather inspiration. But while I worked on Sunken Rock and Origin, they were indeed influenced by manga, but their influence from movies was even more prominent. Hence, the inspiration and sources of these works primarily stem from movies. That's why I dedicatedly watched a multitude of movies for the sake of study. I experienced these influences while crafting my works or during their preparation. And I must say, all of these endeavors have been truly enjoyable. This question is from Junko Azelia. Thank you, Junko Azelia. Hello, Boichi-sensei. Your art style is one of the most unique one I've ever seen. It's hard to believe, but thank you so much for your kind words, Junko Azelia. Personally, I don't think my art style is that unique. You're giving me such nice compliments, thank you. How long did it took you to establish this drawing style? Well, I have been drawing since I was 2 years old. So, naturally, my art style gradually took shape as I continued to draw. There might have been a basic form or prototype of my art style. And then I consciously studied and challenged myself to develop a specific art style. I had a clear desire to have a new art style, and I started working towards it when I was 15 years old. So, I can say that it took from the age of 15 until now for my current style to emerge. And from the age of 15, I kept setting specific goals to create a new art style or improve my style. Every moment of drawing was actually an effort to enhance my art style. But I also had moments where I came up with solutions to create my art style. These moments occurred every few years. These moments happened when I decided to enter the Japanese manga industry. When I entering the Japanese manga magazine. When I began Sunken Rock. When I started Origin. And when I began Dr. Stone in Weekly Shonen Jump. They kept happening continuously. So, they were ongoing, and every moment was like that. My art style has never been complete, and I don't think it will ever be complete in the future. I haven't reached a point, and probably never will. I have never had a completed art style. So, I'm keep moving forward. And I like it that way. I prefer an unfinished and unstable state, constantly striving to improve while drawing. In reality, even recently, I have been changing the style of my assistants, trying to create something new and realizing specific plans. Even now today. The next question is from Cancelphonics8533. Hi Boichi-sensei. I love your art. It's an inspiration to me. Dr. Stone is my favorite manga. Thank you. I'm really grateful. I love your drawing style. It's spectacular. Thank you, Quetzal Phoenix. Thank you so much. That's because when I work, what I consider important is to drawing as spectacular as possible. When Inagaki-sensei gives me his thumbnails for Dr. Stone, I think about wanting to depict it even more spectacularly. So, I have always thought of spectacular things as important. And I am happy that you recognized and acknowledged that. It is indeed a happy moment when readers understand and resonate with the direction intended by the author. I only have one question. How can we find our drawing style? I hope you can answer it. Greetings. It's a continuous process. Find the art style? Well, this is my curiosity. But do you think I have my own art style? I'm not sure. I don't know if I have my own art style. It is the role of readers and fans to evaluate that. However, it's difficult for me to judge whether I have something of my own. I am grateful that fans like my arts. Since I don't know if I have my own art style, I cannot answer how to find one's own art style. I apologize, but I cannot provide an answer because I haven't discovered or finalized my own art style, and I lack confidence in it. Also, I consider my art style, as I mentioned in my previous answer to Junko Azalea's question, to be something that needs to constantly change, evolve, and improve in the future. However, I can share a few thoughts on how to develop an art style, how to create a new art style, or how to change one's own art style. As I mentioned earlier that there were times when I thought about changing my art style and came up with solutions. What solutions I came up with and how I implemented them is something I will talk about someday. First of all, creating an art style, creating a new art style, developing one's own art style. I will briefly discuss these general principles. Almost every art style follows some lineage and undergoes the judgment of trends. The intensity and content of judgment can vary for different media, different eras, or even individual preferences. One's own most unique art style. What one feels as truly one's own art style can still be 99% within some trend. And it can still belong to some lineage. It's something that individuals may not know or acknowledge. But in reality, I haven't seen anything that can be completely detached from lineage and trends and can say, this drawing style is purely mine. That's why I said 99%. There can be a 1% exception. I haven't read or studied every the manga works either. It's impossible. So, I can't say it's 100% certain. But from what I've seen and what I can deduce, most of what people consider as their own art style is within the influence of trends and belongs to a lineage. If, however, You have made the decision to create your own truly unique art style, disregarding trends or established conventions of lineage. I will wholeheartedly support you. I will cheer you on in your remarkable challenge. It's a magnificent and beautiful challenge indeed. And perhaps, the outcome of such a challenge often involves the possibilities of setbacks and obscurity. Setbacks, in the sense of not achieving success as a mangaka. The inability to achieve recognition. Most likely, the outcome of that challenge will be, but embarking on such a journey, despite the undeniable presence of difficulties and adversity, is what makes it a remarkable and inspiring pursuit. It's like venturing into the Grand Line in search of One Piece. The majority of those who embark on that quest will stumble and fade away. That's the essence of seeking One Piece. That's why it's magnificent. And that's why it's beautiful. Even those who fail deserve applause and support. That is why I am here to cheer on all of you who embark on daring, yet beautiful and magnificent challenges. Throughout my experience, I have witnessed numerous mangaka and aspiring talents navigate through such courageous experiences, fully aware of the likelihood of their own defeat. And among them, every single individual managed to leave a lasting impression. Yes, indeed. However, if you are not someone who embraces such challenges, if you are not someone who seeks to carve your own path, and rejecting both trends and lineage, then take a moment to reflect and ask yourself, to which lineage do I belong? Where does my art style currently position itself amidst the ebb and flow of trends? Ponder upon it deeply. Well, most likely you will be able to find it. My artistic lineage was here. I am currently within this trend. I exist within the realm of modern manga. I am present in the drawings of the artists I admired in the past. You will discover these things for yourself and amazed. And the hint lies in the works you loved the most when you were young. The trends and lineages present in those works will serve as clues. Why is it important to find these lineages and trends? Because that's where the path lies. The path that will lead you to your own growth. How to improve your skills. How to create and progress. By delving into the study of lineages and styles, contemplating other works within them, you will find the way. You will see the path that will guide you as a mangaka and the things you need to learn. It's not solely about appreciating a single work. You need to explore the entire spectrum of trends and lineages. Once you find that, you can follow that path. And the readers who appreciate those trends and lineages will become your fans and supporters, because most readers are also within the trends and lineages. I like this. I like this style. It's my favorite. Like this. Next, what can you contribute to further develop this trend? What can you bring to the lineage? A branch of art style. The family tree of art style. A family. The lineage of art style. Through your family, you can see what you can contribute to its advancement. If you do that, you will have achieved something remarkable for this world. That's right. That's what artistic creation is all about. So, in summary, search for the trends and lineages where you belong. Study the works within them to discover your own path. And find ways to develop and contribute to those trends and lineages. That's when you've accomplished something great. That's the essence of it. And it may seem difficult to have your own unique art style. But actually, it's quite easy. Anyone can do it quickly. It's actually very easy. You just need to draw. Look. For example, I want to draw like this. Here we go. The birth of new art style. What if I try using this kind of pen stroke? I want to stick with drawing like this. The new wave drawing style. I want to draw pen strokes as dots like this. There have been many artists throughout history who created their own art styles by drawing with dots. It's a fantastic method. You just have to try it. I want to draw people as triangles. Your own style is just created. How about this? I want to draw facial features realistically in this simple cartoon style. You see, creating your own style is actually quite easy. The real pain is selling your style in the market. It tends to be overlooked in the market. That's the real facing challenge when you start work as a mangaka. It's difficult to make your own art style sell in the market. It's not difficult to create your own style. But it's challenging to have people like it, cheer for it, and then turn it into a new lineage and trend. Creating your own art style is indeed easy. However, marketability is the real hard. My hope is for you to become professional mangaka who can make a living from your work. I don't want you to debut, announce one shot in the contests or magazines only, and fade away into shadows. If you debut as a pro, shouldn't you try to have your work serialized? I don't want you to settle for saying, "I once worked as a mangaka." Having your career as a mangaka and right at the beginning should never be the entirety of your journey. I want you to engage in artistic activities to your heart's content and earn a livelihood from your creations. That's the goal of my YouTube channel. If you aspire to pursue a completely unique and unconventional art style, I will wholeheartedly support and applaud your efforts. But to succeed as a mangaka, I advise considering and studying trends and lineages. Gaining recognition from your audience. While uniqueness may appear appealing, if we solely emphasize originality in our creations, it could result in a world devoid of uniqueness. Surprisingly, even highly sought-after originality can vanish, leaving behind something incomprehensible, losing the balance, and becoming strangely unrecognizable, ultimately leading everything to become same old, same old. Shocking, isn't it? Ironically, by exploring and studying the lineage and trends that already exist in the fundamentals of art and style, we open up various paths, leading to more diverse and vibrant developments. If you solely focus on originality, it becomes monotonous and lacks individuality, ultimately resulting in everything becoming dull and uninteresting. It's not always the case, but it often happens. If you wish to avoid such an outcome, why not consider taking a different approach? First, start by exploring and studying the works you love, then consider similar works. They will serve as your log paths and maps. Finally, infuse them with your unique touch. That's the advice I offer to those of you who are contemplating and grappling with the creation of your own art style.